I have used different lighting setups in this studio over the years, from daylight only to hardware store work lamps, to big multi-bulb fluorescent light banks, to more compact LED light setups. I've liked everything I've used, except maybe the hardware store work lights. Those were hot, but I have found myself wanting a sort of combination of the lights I've used. I really like the cool temperature and the flexibility of LED lights, but I have found them somewhat challenging to soften and spread the light in a way that I like. So when Westcott contacted me about trying some of their lights, I knew exactly what I wanted to try. They're Solix lights. I've been using them for a few weeks now. I am illuminated by them now. Lots of folks ask me the gear that I use for filming my videos, and lighting is absolutely key. So let me tell you about my new lighting kit and how I plan to use it for both photos and videos. First, if you're new here, hello, my name is Leigh. I make videos on anything where you might have a camera in your hand. Last week, I shared a video on technique. This week, it's studio lighting for photo and video. Next week, I have some astrophotography and wildlife and sports content coming your way. I also have complete courses if you would like to go in depth on topics with me. My members have access to those courses and a whole lot more, so if that sounds interesting to you, check out the link in the description to learn more about channel membership. Now, these Solix lights are 90-watt bicolor LED lights. You can purchase the lights individually. They actually come with a few modifiers. You can also purchase different modifiers, but I requested the Jen Rosenbaum 2-light kit. You can actually put this kit together by simply purchasing the different pieces, but I like the variety here and that it all comes in a wheeled case. Let's look at the individual pieces here, and then I will show you what they do. First, two 10-foot light stands. And then the two lights are identical. I already mentioned that they are 90-watt bicolor LED lights. You can adjust the color temperature from 3200 to 5600 Kelvin, and you can also adjust the intensity of the output. The most intense is 3100 lux at 1 meter. The lights each have an integrated locking speed ring to attach rod-based modifiers to. The ring rotates and locks into place wherever you want, which is super handy if you want to change the orientation of the modifier. And I'll show you that in a moment. Incidentally, the speed rings are also magnetic for some modifiers to attach that way, which brings us to the first modifier. I have a half-stop frosted diffusion cap for each light. This attaches magnetically to the front to soften the light, but they don't do anything to direct the light. That leads us to these barn doors, which I have for each light. They attach magnetically and they simply direct the light. You can use them with or without the diffusion caps that I just showed you so that you can limit the area of light because the doors physically block light, but then you can also soften it with the diffusion caps. And then there are 12-inch collapsible round soft boxes for each. Again, you have options for how to use these, with or without the diffusion cap, with or without the front diffusion fabric. These direct and soften the light. Now, all of those modifiers are helpful for different reasons. The barn doors, for example, are great for limiting the amount of lighting spill if you only want light in a certain area. But the modifiers that I use the most often, the ones that I've been using for all of my videos that I'm using right now, are the larger soft boxes in the kit. I have a 2x3 rectangular softbox and a 1x3 strip bank, which is a longer rectangular softbox. The softboxes collapse for travel and storage, but the rods fit into the speed ring for use. Both of the softboxes have silver interiors and an interior baffle that you can add to cut the light by a stop, either with or without the one-stop outer diffusion panel. With that outer diffusion panel, softboxes soften and spread the light over a wide area. These large softboxes used this way are good for my studio space for my videos because they spread the light over me and my background, and any shadows created by the items on those shelves behind me are minimized. I also like them for portraits, which I will discuss again in a moment. Now, these are the modifiers that I have from this kit, but like I said, you can attach any number of rod-based modifiers like umbrellas or a beauty dish. You can add a snoot, or you can add a grid to the softboxes. So many different combinations to suit different purposes. The lights are just a nice base for whatever it is that you want from them. I like that this kit is easy to use, and I like that I can balance the color temperature easily with one knob, because sometimes I have daylight coming in, so I need to fine-tune my typical settings. Likewise, it's easy to change the output intensity for different effects and how much light I need. The cords are nice and long, but you can also purchase a battery pack. The lights are all but silent. LED lights run cool anyway, but these do have low decibel cooling fans to keep them extra cool, and they're still silent. And I also really like that everything I have, this entire kit, light stands, modifiers, everything, fits into the rolling case. I can pack it up and I can bring it with me anywhere. And because the soft boxes and the other modifiers are easy to attach, it's quick to set up anywhere. This is just a case of gear that just works the way it's supposed to, and that reliability is the key for me. I know that I can quickly set them up for soft, even lighting for any of my videos. And continuous lights are good for videos, but what about still photography like portraits? Why would one use these over strobes? The main reason is simplicity. You can see the light with your eyes as you stand there in front of your subject. There are certainly ways to manipulate the lighting using your camera settings, but you can see where and how the light falls before you ever press the shutter release. You also don't have to trigger them. They're just always on. With strobes, you have to trigger them, which is simply another step, and you have to take a photo to see where the light is. For these reasons, continuous lights are great for beginners, or in my case, for people who just like simplicity. However, it's not quite so easy. Continuous lights do not put out as much light as a strobe, so there are situations where you may need a strobe to get more light. For example, if you want to illuminate a backlit subject, you might need a strobe. If you want to capture fast action with a very fast shutter speed, you may need a strobe. It just all depends on the situation. So what I am doing is this. I'm packing up my current LED lights that I have been using. I think they're great, and I especially like the Lytra Studio lights because I can use them in the field in any kind of weather. They're waterproof. Or if I want to do any special lighting effects or color, they'll certainly be taken out from time to time. And I'm packing up my trusty, over a decade old Alien Bees strobes because I rarely need the extra power of a strobe for my work these days. I'd rather have the ease of continuous lighting, and I can always pull the strobes out of the closet when I need them. What this means is that I can clean up my studio a bit, so I'm not constantly moving light stands around. These Westcott lights will be doing the duty of all of my other lighting for the vast majority of my projects. Speaking of projects, I am due for some new headshots, so I will be creating them here in the studio using these lights. I will share that project soon, so make sure that you are subscribed and hit the bell so the video shows up in your feed. And if you want to know more about these lights, I will add a link to Westcott's site in the description, but you can also find these at B&H or Adorama. Thank you to Westcott for sending these. They have already made my job easier. And thank you for watching.